Hey everybody, welcome to the Sin Bin. Tonight we continue our exploration of Long Island reggae. I saw this act play in Atlantic City over Easter weekend. Immediately I was struck by their ability to frame some high energy rock grooves into an authentic native Jamaican frame. It is my pleasure to introduce bassist Stu Session, vocalist Josie Faya, and percussionist and backing vocalist Mel Funk, three of the seven-piece band known as Aqua Cherry out of Long Island. How are we all doing today, ladies and gentlemen?
Wonderfully, thank you.
Good.
How are you?
So I had the ability to see you twice, and the first one was in Atlantic City over Easter weekend, and the second one was at South Bay Reggae Fest in Patchogue, Long Island, 2 weeks ago. And both of the shows I saw were high energy, and I enjoyed them quite a lot. So let me just jump out of the way here and start off by asking you, give us your 1 minute elevator pitch. What is Aqua Cherry about?
We are Aqua Cherry, reggae rock band from Long Island, New York. We are about making music to help people feel free, to experience uh, ultimate pleasure, to have you feel like you can get away from it all while still embracing the fact that we're still in it and we've got a good future ahead of us as long as we want to and we can push forward and stay hopeful.
Okay.
We just want you to dance.
Well, I did not originally suspect that Long Island had a large reggae scene, but I have been contradicted by events over the last 6 months. We have yourselves, I Respect, and Roots Foundation. Roots Foundation is now being led by Stephen Souza, who is top tier reggae artist in his own right. And I have spent the last couple months learning about the Long Island reggae scene, and I see that there are a lot of shows and a lot of venues that wind up getting packed. So you have a self-contained thing there in Long Island, don't you?
We do. It's been a lot of years. We've been a band for about just over 10 years, and we've been a
Hmm.
part of the scene to grow and see it evolve into not just the reggae scene. There's a lot of other music that happens here, but just a lot of talent that can be cultivated. And, we are a reggae band, so we play more of that. But there's a um, big fan base for reggae music here. There's a lot of other, like you mentioned, I respect. Funny
Hmm.
enough, I respect their guitarist, Brian Irie. He was part of Aqua Cherry at some point. So, we all intermingle. We all go to the same shows. We all grew up together. We all have been a part of this scene to help it evolve into what it is now, to what you
That's
see.
great.
Mhm.
So talk to us about the history of Aqua Cherry. When did Aqua Cherry get together and how?
Stu, what year was it?
It was the year 19. I
And
was voice
April.
today.
Um,
Okay.
we lost you, Stu.
I think it was 2000. All right, fill it in for
I think it was 2011.
2011.
2011. Okay, yeah, it was 2011.
2011. Okay.
And so I was living in a house, and it's all via Craigslist, by the way, how it
Hmm.
originally conceived. So I moved into a house because I saw Craigslist ad. Stu started a band with my roommate because he wanted a band. And I went to the first Aqua Cherry show as a fan to go support my housemate. And
Okay.
then a couple months later, they needed a drummer to show their drummer a particular song, and I got to fill in. And over time, he wasn't available anymore, so I became the drummer of Aqua Cherry. And then the lead singer decided to move to California. When he moved to California, we decided we were going to end the band, but we kept meeting for rehearsal. And so after a couple of rehearsals, we got show offers and we took the show offers, and then the band just continued. Over the years, we've had, like I said, Brian come in, and he was a part of the band for a while. John Sold of the Scofflaws has been a very integral um, part of helping us become who we became because he
Hmm.
helped, he'd already been a part of international success and, national success. And he showed us how to really cultivate what we had. Um, and then from there, we've had many member changes throughout the years, and the 7 piece you see now is I think the evolved form of Aqua Cherry.
Okay. So
Oh,
Hopefully
where?
everyone.
fun fact, let me
Also,
throw it in
Mel
there
was one
too.
of those
Mel
drummers.
Funk. I'm sorry, Stu.
Mel was one of those drummers that,
Yes. So
drilled.
after I got off drums, she was the first drummer to jump in and take drums under her wing for the band. So Mel's been with us from way back then as well.
Okay. All right. So where did the name Aqua Cherry come from?
Uh-oh.
So I can only I'm gonna frame it the way it was framed to me because
Okay.
it's the way it is. Um, I don't like to answer this question except to frame it the way it was framed. So I'm gonna say it. When I asked the
Well,
original lead singer,
before you answer, let me just jump in here. I would think that before you decide what a band name is, it should be with the expectation of the fact that at least one person is going to ask you, where did the name of the band come from?
absolutely. But here's the thing,
Okay.
it wasn't part of that decision process, even way back then. So I remembered asking the singer at the time, what does the name Aqua Cherry mean? And he looked at me and smirked and said, it's just sexy. And I said, what? He said, it's just sexy. And it took me some years, but I figured it out. And so I'm gonna leave that on the rest of everyone to let them
Huh?
take however long it needs to figure it out.
Okay. All right. So I guess we'll move on to the next question here. Okay. In terms of musical influences, what particularly do you all listen to?
Oh man.
It is so varied.
Yeah.
We have such
So
an eclectic mix, especially with the current lineup. Such an eclectic mix of what everyone listens to. And obviously, for the music that we write together, we make sure that it sticks to a reggae feel, but it also has some influences of rock and some indie and all kind of other things coming in that kind of morph together, but everyone listens.
I believe I saw someone, and it may have been you, Mel, sporting a Ballyhoo t-shirt when you were performing in Atlantic City. And I was a little bit struck by that because I'm just like, wow, these guys are not remotely Ballyhoo. So, um, but yeah,
They're good
the
though.
people all bring their own style, and there are a lot of crossover acts out there. I think the one thing about most of those crossover acts is that they really do not understand. They really do not understand where the battle lines are for what authentic reggae is. I mean, you guys go exceptionally hard for what reggae is, but there's something about when I listen to it that like you guys don't stray beyond the rules of, in other words, like if you're doing a different sound, you're doing a different sound the way Jamaicans would do a different sound. Instead of a bunch of punk rockers trying to sound like reggae guys. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the way I hear it in my head. I mean, when I saw you guys on stage, I keep on thinking about, like the classic Op Ivy, Bad Brains kind of sound that is, that's something that's great, but um reggae in America today is it's a confusing territory. And a
I
lot
agree.
of people they don't have that clear vision. One thing
So
I've seen about you guys is that you have that clear vision.
so I agree 100% because that's exactly what we strive for, and I'm glad you recognize that. Thank you. That's a very I take that as a compliment. That sits very well because we try our best in rehearsals and when we're writing music is to say, guys, is this a reggae song? Because it could very easily. We have a bunch of people that listen to a whole bunch. We have jam music that we like.
Mhm.
I like reggae,
When
rap.
you're asking that question, are you asking the one wearing the Ballyhoo t-shirt or no? I'm sorry.
No, funny
Apologize.
enough, because there's times dude's playing a bass line and it sounds like a jam band bass line, or I'm
Mhm.
singing something and it sounds like um, more of like a rock kind of a sound, and then I have to throw it under the microscope and go, no, how do we make all these words sound more Jamaican, or more reggae like?
Mhm.
Um, the drummer will start doing a rock beat, or he'll go off into a jam band thing, or Rayon
Yeah.
with an ultra synthy thing, and it's and
Yeah.
it's tough to say, hey guys, take a second, remember what genre we are, and let's bring it back in so that we can create. And so we go through a lot of phases where we have a lot of jams that are just
Hmm.
other genre stuff that we sometimes play around with on stage, but most of the time we try to bring it back to that authentic sound. We're all
Yeah.
fans of music here, so I like dance music, I like house music, I like Mel likes those things as well. One of our members, his favorite band is Moonhooch, and that's
Hmm.
anything near reggae. He likes Grizz as well. That's not anything near reggae. So we have that thing where we like all this other music, but we have to consciously take the time to remember what we're playing.
Right. So I was listening to your stuff on Spotify before the interview here, and I did hear. I think the song is it? I think it's Bleachin'. Had a very deep pacifier feel to it.
Okay,
You
interesting.
know.
We love them.
Oh yeah, you're fans of because
Absolutely.
I think they're in the same boat. I think that they do the unconventional, but they stay within the rules. They truly nail it. So um, okay, so you all are headquartered in Stony Brook. Is that correct? Did any of you attend the university?
No,
No.
not
No.
not
I
a good
work
image.
at, well, I used to work at, now I
Oh,
work,
you used to work at the university. Okay.
work for a hospital at this point.
I don't know if you all know this, but Vanalia came out of Stony Brook University,
Yep.
and I was friends with her many, many years ago before she even got signed.
So,
Um,
fact about
Go
Bonnie,
ahead.
she played her first show with us.
Really?
Yep. It was us, Bunktown Falls,
Bunktown
and
Falls.
yeah,
Okay.
I think I Respect was there as well, Stu. No, Intona, Intona. It was this band called Intona was there. And
Hmm.
so it's Aqua Cherry, Bunktown Falls, Vanalia, and Intona. It was at a place called I don't know, it was a billiards pool hall. And it was like one of the first shows that we called a big show. We had over 100 people show up, and it was really like, whoa, we're doing something here.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Many moons ago.
yes, yes. So yeah, I knew her back then, and then in a period of weeks, she graduated, got signed, and has been seeing the world ever since.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's get down to the easy part of this interview. First question is, um, what is the most comfortable venue you've ever played? What is the place that you go to where you say, given a choice, if there's any place I want to play here. This is what I would consider the most comfortable, enjoyable place to play music.
Say the Paramount.
Paramount in Huntington.
Yeah.
I have not been there yet. Is it because of the accommodations? Is it the stage? What makes the Paramount work?
We opened up for Junior Marvin.
Junior
It was
Marvin.
like that was
Okay.
very super special, and they treated us really well, and there was an amazing crowd.
Yeah. Okay.
I could agree with that.
All awesome jobs.
Okay. Do you concur, Mel?
Yeah, absolutely. I think their staff was really friendly and helpful, and I think that just makes all the difference in the world.
Hmm. Okay.
We also,
What
and
is
another
Go
part of
ahead.
it too is that it was home. It's home. So the fan base really pulled up, and it was really cool to just be in that room, which is, a nice venue, one of the bigger ones here, and
Hmm.
have the whole room pull up for us, in the time that we had to allotted to make the announcement.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so a more overarching question. This is completely open-ended. what is the greatest show that you ever performed at or ever seen?
Greatest?
Yes, and it's got to be reggae though. Can't
Oh,
be not reggae.
oh. What if you were the only reggae act on the bill?
Even if you're the only reggae act in the bill,
Oh man. Personally, I think this most recent performance at the Great South Bay Music Festival,
it was a good vibe.
I think that was for me one of the most confirming of what we do, why we do, how we do.
Yeah,
I think that was one of those that just really felt amazing overall. You know,
you
it's
did
been a
have you did
culmination of
have
all these years putting it together.
you did have quite a show up for the what is it, the 5 point stage. You
Yes,
got a lot of attention on that day, and you're right. There were a bunch of things going for it. The weather was just absolutely perfect. The view of the water was great, and it was an all day thing. And I saw very few bad vibes. You know, no issues, no hostility, nothing like that. So
sure.
I can see that. Okay. Anyone else?
I would go again. I mean, Junior Marvin, very nice and friendly to us, and his stature, we really didn't have to. So I think again, that show at the Paramount, it kind of aligns with the show at the Great South Bay. It's something special for us.
Okay. And you, Mel?
I'm gonna go with Sundub.
Sundub?
Yeah.
Where did you see Sundub play?
We played with them in two different places, in Worcester, Massachusetts and Portland, Maine. And just hearing them, seeing them perform was just really inspiring.
Yeah. I booked Sundub and Mighty Mystic in Philadelphia here on January 4th of this year. And it was a memorable show. It was a you know
I
one
saw
of
them
the
in
what
Brooklyn the next day.
where
At Brooklyn Bowl. I saw them at Brooklyn
you
Bowl the
said they
next day.
you oh okay, that's right. So that was the night afterwards. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I put the Milk Boys show together in Philly for both of
Nice.
them, and had a good chance to get some serious FaceTime, particularly with Sydney Mills. Um, it's the kind of guy that if you get him in a quiet room, you can learn quite a lot that you wouldn't be able to get from other people. Um, but yes, I agree. Props to Sundub. They definitely put on a hell of a show. Okay, so now we're at the end point. I guess the question that I have for all of you now is what type of events do you have going on that you would like to plug?
We are playing at Amityville Music Hall on September 18th with the Whalers.
Right?
They just came off of they're doing the 40th anniversary for the uh album. Come on, bud. Thank you, Legend. For the Legend album. And they just came off of being all acting in the One Love movie as well. So they're celebrating that as well. We have this weekend, we're going to be in Maryland at Riptide. That's August 10th.
Riptide Pool Bar in Ocean City, Maryland?
Yes.
Okay.
And we've got more records coming. We're keeping it pretty tight to the chest right now.
Okay.
Well, I will say you may have mentioned a band that we will be working with.
It's entirely possible.
Just keep your ears to the streaming services and to the social medias at Aqua Cherry, wherever you listen to music.
Okay.
And wherever you social media online at Aqua Cherry. And then we've got some new music coming out for you soon. And so, stick around, keep enjoying the fun and dance with us.
Okay.
Also, Saturday, August 24th, we'll be at the Havakana Music Festival. Again, Sundub will be there.
And where is that?
Boxborough, Massachusetts.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. for the members of the CMB Reggae audience watching this, don't forget to continue to tune in, and we hope to get new content every week. And I speak for the CMB Reggae crowd when I say we all wish you well in your further success, your continued success. I think
Thank
you
you.
guys put on a great show, and I consider your act one of the rising stars in the Mid Atlantic right now. So, okay, take care, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
You guys. Bye.